friends. This week we're going to work on some lacing activities, okay? So before we start this, I just want to talk a little bit about things that use two hands, okay? So grown-ups at home, I want you to get some ideas in how we can use the language working hand and helper hand. Okay, so a fun game that I like to play with my friends is Simon Says, okay? And I want them to use their working hand to do these things. All right, Simon says, brush your teeth. You'll find that naturally they'll use their dominant hand to imitate these tasks. I'm right-handed, so I'm using my working hand, my right hand, to pretend to brush my teeth, okay? So establishing hand dominance, having your child know which is their working hand and which is their helper hand is so important in kindergarten, okay? This is a skill that they're gonna need to do so many kindergarten tasks, such as cutting, learning to tie their shoes, writing, definitely, coloring, okay? All right. Simon says, brush your hair. Simon says, eat your cereal. Okay, so that's just a good warm-up activity to help get your child familiar with the term working hand and helper hand. Okay, so that's your job this week, is to use that language as much as you can to really notice which hand your child uses as their working hand, and to have them pay attention. Oh yeah, I am right-handed. This is my working hand. This is my helper hand. And noticing how important these hands work together as a team, okay? So in your bag of materials, you should have a lacing card. It might not look like this. It might be a different kind of shape, like a thick cardstock material. It might just be a paper plate with a string attached. Okay, so first we're gonna hold our lacing card with our helper hand, and our working hand is gonna hold the string, okay? Helper hand holds the card, working hand holds the string. All right, we're gonna go down that first hole, and we're gonna pull it all the way until we can't pull it anymore. That's important so we don't get tangles. We went down that hole. Next, we're gonna go up. Notice I'm using the tips of my fingers, those pincher fingers of my working hand. Next, I'm gonna find that next hole because we're going in sequential order, going in order of the holes all around, so I'm not going across to one on the other side, looking for that next hole. I went up, so now I go down. Good. Notice how hard my helper hand is working. My helper hand is holding the paper and rotating it to turn it. Some other times that you need this skill is anytime you do cutting. Think about how hard that helper hand works during cutting tasks. Even writing. That helper hand is stabilizing the paper while working hand writes. Or else your paper would just be moving all over the place, okay? Next, I find that next hole. I go up, pull it all the way, and then I find that next hole, and I go down, and I pull it all the way. Okay, so lacing can be very challenging for preschoolers and kindergartners. It's a new task for a lot of students, so pairing the language and following along with your child the first few times is very important to make sure that they're going in order. They're not jumping across. They're pulling it all the way through so it doesn't get all tangled. If not, it can be a very frustrating task. So this is a great activity to just sit close with your child and support them during it. If you're noticing that they're having a really hard time going in order, going down and up, and it's beginning to get frustrating for them, maybe they're not quite ready for lacing, something that you can do with some household materials to get them ready is small paper plate, cut slits all around. Gonna tape a piece of yarn or string, it can be a shoelace, basically any string you can find, twine, like cooking twine would work. And this, you're still using those two hands, that two-handed coordination. Look, you're just bringing the string, tucking it. You don't have to go in any sequential order, but I'm still using a lot of those same skills. My working hand is holding the string, my helper hand is holding the plate, turning, rotating. There's a lot of coordination that's going on here. Good. So I like to call them spider webs. I think I did have a little fake spider in the middle at one point, so you can call them spider webs, just to make it fun. And then they unwrap it, which again, some great skills you're using. Those two hands together, your working hand, your helping hand, they're a team, right? Very important that they work together. So doing these sorts of activities, these two-handed tasks, are a great way to strengthen those skills, which are so important for kindergarten. Okay, so that's just another idea. I just wanted to include a couple other activities you can do using two hands. Tracing a model, great way to use two hands together. Helper hand is holding that model. I'm just using the Play-Doh that came in the bag. You can use a cup, you could use a stencil, anything. Holding it steady while working hand traces. Okay, so you can trace different shapes that way, incorporate it into art projects. Another activity you can use to use those two hands together are stringing beads. So there's pipe cleaners and small beads in your kit. These are already on, so I'm taking them off, putting them on and taking them off. Okay, if you notice that my helper hand is holding the pipe cleaner while my working hand is using those pincer fingers to take the beads off. Okay, so now I'll put some on, taking them off the table. Okay. Alright, and this might be just something your child enjoys. You can make fun like keychains or make a pattern out of it. Basically anything we can do to get those two hands working together. Alright, so this week, use the language, helping hand and working hand. Talk about it with your child. Notice during mealtime, oh, I notice you're using your working hand to hold the fork. Great job. When they're doing any kind of writing or drawing assignments, I like how helper hand is holding the paper steady while working hand is holding that pencil. Alright, and I'm going to attach an exit ticket just to let me know how these activities went, if you're able to try them, things that your child is having trouble with, or you need to work more on it. Just gives me some good information. Alright, thank you, bye.